Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to learn how to cover a padlock with leather, something that elevates your piece from being okay or pretty good to being absolutely spectacular. So let's get straight into it, shall we? And it is going to be fun. We're going to use some grained Nova Nappa. I love Nova Nappa, as you probably know if you've been watching for a while. If you haven't, click that subscribe button. But we're going to start out with it at about 1.5 mil, which I think it was just then. And I'm going to manually split it down to 1 millimeter. We're going to be doing a lot of hand skiving, so if you haven't learnt how to hand skive first, I would highly recommend doing it. The next thing we're going to do after splitting the leather down, or before, it doesn't really matter, is measure the size of your padlock, because the size of your padlock is really important. I'm not going to give you a pattern for this project because every padlock is different. We're going to need 3 pieces, which is why the leather I just split is quite a lot wider than the padlock itself. We're going to need 3 pieces. One is the bottom, one is the top, and one is the middle. And I'm going to teach you 2 techniques because it depends on the padlock which one you use. If you're using a padlock with quite a lot of material at the top, so quite a lot of metal around the top of the padlock, you can use the wraparound method. If you don't have a lot of metal at the top where the prongs go in, I don't know the terminology, then you'll need to use the flat top method. I don't know if that's the actual name, but that's the name I'm using. So the first thing we're going to do is cut out 2 rough size pieces and use a hole punch that's the same size as the keyhole at the bottom to make a hole for the keyhole at the bottom. You can use some edge paint in there if you like. I haven't for this because there's not a lot of point. I'm not actually using this for a piece. I'm using it to teach you guys. But if you are using it for a piece, go ahead and use some edge paint on that just to clean it up a little bit. And then we're going to do 6 million years of hand skiving. You can use a bell knife skiver for this, but I couldn't really be bothered to set it up for this particular piece. And a lot of you, as I've been told in the comment section, don't have a bell skiver, which is totally fair. They're not very cheap. I would highly recommend getting one if you want to level up your game, but again, is not necessary for most things. You need to have some way of getting the leather to about 1 mil, so I've used my hand splitter for this. Anyway, so we're going to skive this down, and we're going to skive it down pretty thin. It's going to be to 0 and a feather edge at the end. And the reason for that is because we're going to be wrapping that around. So once you've skived that down, we need to rough the metal up because we're not using a water-based adhesive like I use for most things. We're using a solvent-based adhesive for this because water-based adhesive doesn't stick to metal. You might have some secret trick that you can share in the comment section below, but as far as I'm aware, none of them work on metal. So there we go. We're going to use some 320 grit. You can use something a bit stronger if you have it, but this is the roughest sandpaper I've got in stock because it's the roughest sandpaper I use. But we're going to scuff up all of the metal around it apart from the prongs because everything is going to get covered. And it needs to be completely scratched up because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these brass padlocks, brass products, have a sort of lacquery material on them to stop them from patinaing over time. So we need to remove all of that. The other thing about it is the glue will not stick without some keying to the surface. And then we need to remove all of the sort of metal dust we've just created. Be very careful when you're applying the glue, contact adhesive, I'll call it glue. Be very careful when you're applying it around the lock hole. And the reason for this is because if it goes in the lock hole, obviously you won't be able to get the key in the lock hole, which will be a problem for a padlock. Don't know why I keep saying padlock. Don't know why I keep saying magnet. That's my fault. This is not a magnet, evidently. So make sure it's completely covered, and it needs to be completely covered. And then we're going to cover the leather as well. And we don't want to absolutely lather this on. We don't want it to be piles and piles on there. We just want enough that it's going to stick, and we want it completely even. Once that's dry and it needs to be completely set, contact adhesive doesn't stick to itself when it's wet. We're going to line it up and we're going to put it on that lock. Take your time, push it down really, really firmly, and don't do this too soon, otherwise it won't stick properly. Use some scissors or a knife or shears or whatever you've got and cut off the excess. And then, I mean, you could do this beforehand, but I'm doing it afterwards. Cover the rest of it in glue as well. You only need up to about 5 or 10 mil above the bottom, but I just do the whole thing and then put some more on later, because that is what's going to be actually sticking where the fold over part's going to be. Obviously we also want to cover all of the leather in glue, and by this point it's probably dry because we've been working with it for a little while, so put a little bit more on. You can't really over glue the sides because a lot of it dries off anyway. And then very firmly push the leather down around the sides. Now we don't want to do the ends just yet, and the reason we don't want to do the ends just yet is because we're going to be cutting out darts. What is a dart? A dart is a triangle which allows us, well, we're going to do it a little bit, I guess, but we're going to be cutting out darts which allow you to fold it properly. These are darts, and it means that when you pull it down, it doesn't fold over onto itself. You need to cut darts out of corners because corners don't fold. We're then also going to use a scalpel, or I think in the US you call these X-Acto knives, and we're going to slice off the corners because these need to be as smooth as physically possible. And then even more skiving. So we're going to skive this down to 0 so it's completely flush with the padlock body. And this is probably 20 minutes of skiving that I've sped up, because you do not want to see me skive for 20 minutes. Trust me, it's really boring. So I've sped this up, but the point is that you want to skive a couple of mil down from the top to 0. Why not all the way to the bottom? Because we're going to be putting the strap, the leather midsection around this. And if you've skived all the way to the top or the bottom, you will see raw leather, which is the worst thing we can possibly do. So I have used my bell knife skiver on the strip because I want an as even as possible join between the strap and the bottom. So the way I've done that is the leather strip is the same thickness as the top, and then skiving it down to 0 to reduce any or remove any transition. And then we're going to put yet another coat of glue on this, because we need to make sure that this sticks firmly. We're not stitching any of it. It's a completely stitchless project. And because it's a completely stitchless project, we are relying solely on this glue. So you need to be really, really careful to let it set fully before you join the pieces together. Now, I have made this strip a fraction of a millimeter. I do not know exactly how much smaller, but a fraction of a millimeter narrower than it should be. And there's a reason for that. Because I want to put a little bit of stretch into this leather laterally. So width-wise, I want to put just a tiny little bit of stretch in there. And the reason I'm doing that is to make this as smooth as possible. I do not have a can opener. But yes, we are going to then put leather on the end, glue on the end of the leather. This end I have skived down to absolute 0 as well, because then the transition point is as smooth as possible. There will always be a transition point, but the way that we splice these is by making the transition point as seamless as possible. Use your bone folder over literally everything. Push it down really hard, because the harder you push down on contact adhesive, the harder it contacts and therefore adheres. It's kind of in the name. We're then going to find our second hole. So the easiest way to do this top part, there's two ways to do the top part. A is with the wraparound, but this padlock didn't have enough material for that. And B, by doing a top section, a top flat bit if you like. But the easiest way to do this is by making one hole, putting it over, and then using something relatively pointy but not too pointy to find the other hole. And then you've got the size, you've got the two holes perfectly in position, because if you try and punch them out otherwise, you might put that hole in the wrong place. Now, something I would recommend is making the second hole very slightly closer than it needs to be, because then you have to stretch it out slightly, and again for the same reason as the strappy bit in the middle, the stretch will reduce any wrinkling. This project has a retarded amount of hand skiving. It was kind of ridiculous actually. But there's nothing we can do about that, because I decided not to use my bow knife on this. Good practice though, I guess. And then we are done basically. So once we've skived the top, we're then going to obviously cover it in glue again. Contact adhesive, glue, same thing. Well, not the same thing, but I'm using the words interchangeably at the moment. Now, why am I drawing around it again? So, because we want to reduce the amount of raw leather, I didn't get quite enough off, I should have done a little bit more, but because we want to reduce the amount of raw leather and therefore reduce any edge painting we'll need to do after this, we want to get this to as close to 0 as possible. I should have taken slightly more off, as you'll see at the end, but those are the sort of options as far as it's concerned. I will admit, doing padlocks with more material at the top is easier, because you just do the wraparound at the top and the bottom, and it results in a slightly cleaner look. However, I wanted to show you guys how to do both in case you were using a padlock that doesn't have a lot of material. So this is kind of for your benefit more than the padlock's benefit, if you like. Don't get any glue in those holes, because those holes allow the prongs of the padlock to go into the padlock. And if you get holes in there, you're going to have a really... if you get glue in those holes, you're going to have a really bad day, because your padlock won't close. What do I mean by enough material? So at the top, either side of those little holes, you can see that the amount of metal visible to actually stick something to is almost non-existent, which is, if there was more, I would have done a fold over method to this. The easiest way to line this up is not by pushing it over and then trying to wiggle it around. Contact adhesive is really strong. So the easiest way to do this is actually to put it over the prong, put it back over the prong like I'm doing here, and then close the padlock itself, and then just push it down. Because if you try and line it up without doing it this way, it's actually really irritating. You end up tearing it off and having to do the whole thing again. Use your bone folder to push it down really firmly, and we're also going to use it kind of like a score line. So at the top you'll see it's kind of burnished at the sides where the padlock comes to an end, and we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to get a brand new scalpel blade because we want this to be as clean a cut as physically possible, and then we're going to cut the sides off from upside down. Now you'll see a little bit of raw leather. I did not paint this afterwards because this is for the video, but the best way to do this, to finish this on your actual project, if you need to do a top plate like this, a top section, not a folded section, is to put a little bit of edge paint on. And there we go, we're all finished. You can see that raw edge at the top. Please ignore that. I don't have time to put some edge paint on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.